Snowboarding. It's the ultimate alignment of body, soul, and nature. The best day you've ever had, day after day. It's the never-ending chase of something better. A soul-fulfilling journey that guides our life. For we know we are living for something greater. A spiritual calling that our soul must answer.
Hey there, everybody. My name is David Biddle. Some of you might already recognize me as Davey Boy, the Big Guys product reviewer and video editor over at The Good Ride. I am going to be your Good Ride travel guide, your host for a new video series that will be posted on our main Good Ride YouTube channel. Unlike our snowboard reviews, these are not going to be analytical reviews of mountains or resorts or travel locations. We want this to feel like you're going out and having a day with a good friend. Let me be your big dog. If you're going to a resort, you're showing up to a town or a travel spot, and you don't have a local to call, hopefully these videos can be that substitute. We don't want anybody spending hundreds to thousands of dollars on a trip only to go out and get skunked. Any number of things can go wrong and mess up a trip. So I'm hoping that these videos can provide you with the information and the inspiration to go out and have one of the best days of your life.
Today, we're talking Bird, home to some of the lightest, driest snow on the planet. Snowbird is located in Utah, 30 miles from the Salt Lake City Airport, 6 miles into Little Cottonwood Canyon, nestled right into the heart of one of the greatest mountain ranges on Earth, the Wasatch.
The Bird sees 500 inches of champagne powder annually.
And looking at this beautiful trail map, you can see this place is pretty big. There's 2,500 acres of skiable terrain. There's over 140 different trails accessed by 10 lifts, 1 tram, and 3 carpets. The resort consists of 3 major zones. In the front, Peruvian Gulch and Gad Valley. On the backside is Mineral Basin. The Cirque Traverse roughly splits Peruvian Gulch and Gad Valley. The runs that come off of the Cirque Traverse are some of the steepest and highest consequence for the whole resort. Fortunately, the Cirque Traverse was closed for mitigation work while I was there, so I did not get a chance to ride it in this review. The terrain at Snowbird is classified as 8% beginner, 26% intermediate, 66% advanced to expert. So this is definitely a resort that caters to the more experienced off-piste snowboarder or skier. The lifts, lookers left to right on the map, we have Peruvian, the Tram, Bluebird, Mid-Gad, Gad Zoom, Little Cloud, Gad 2, and Baby Thunder. And then on the backside of Mineral Basin, there's the Baldy lift and the Mineral Basin lift. As for terrain parks, this place is mostly natural terrain. I read that there's a small terrain park under the Mid-Gad lift, but I never found it the day I was there. I'm also reading that in the springtime for about a month, from April 15th to May 15th, they open up a Woodward Mountain Park, and if you know anything about Woodward, they build amazing parks. It says that is located off of the Baldy Express. I may be wrong on that. Take that information with a grain of salt. For the parking at Snowbird, you better be prepared to walk a little bit. Unless you want to pay for reserve parking up in the front, Snowbird takes a hybrid approach. So there's a mix of free parking and paid parking. The paid parking doesn't have much walking. Most likely, you're not going to be there at 6:30, 7 a.m. to get the very front of the free parking. I ended up parking back on the bypass road, and it was maybe a 10-15 minute walk to get to the lift. It's a decent little walk, but it's downhill, so it's nothing crazy, and luckily coming back to your car, you can take a trail and hop off directly across the street from where you parked, if you're up on the bypass road or the upper batch lot. The majority of parking at Snowbird is free. It's on a first come, first served basis. And it seems like in the springtime, when the snow line recedes a little bit, there is more parking along the highway. Carpooling, 3 or more people, you can get priority parking spots. So gang up. With the popularity of skiing in Utah, always expect traffic. If you're going on a weekend, expect at least 2 to 3 hours. If you're going on a weekday, expect at least 1 to 2 hours. Most likely an hour and a half to 2 hours. Looking at this map right now, we are riding Looker's Left, going on this squiggly line on this ridgeline traverse, going over the tunnel, approaching Mount Baldy. So we're just going to unstrap, hike a little bit up this Baldy traverse, strap back in, ride maybe one bull over, and then drop down and get some pretty epic pow on Mount Baldy.
And people say first impressions are the most important impressions. And for me, this run off Mount Baldy was my first run at Snowbird. I scored some pretty good pow, and I absolutely fell in love with this place. And I don't think anybody in the comment section can tell me otherwise.
So here I am taking this cat track. We are actually passing over the Mineral Basin tunnel right now. So I'm just going to fast forward and give you a little bit of a perspective as we approach the traverse to Mount Baldy. Bam! Here we are. Not with the mountain school today, but I saw the crowd doing this, so all the locals were saying Mount Baldy was the best available zone at the moment. Looking to my right, that is the backside of Mineral Basin, which is a beautiful zone that we will get to a little later in this video. Doing the Mount Baldy traverse. This was a busy moment with everyone racing for fresh snow, so I just wanted to take the powder that I had. That is just some epic Mount Baldy powder right there. This is listed on the trail map as a double black diamond. Personally, this felt closer to a black. Forgive my bad posture, I'm holding a 6-foot selfie stick. And there we go. That turnaround angle is a lot better perspective of the actual pitch of the slope. Sometimes the POV can distort that. After taking Mount Baldy all the way down to the tram and back up, we are at the top of the tram, now looking down at Mineral Basin. This just opened minutes before I got to the top. A great mix of black and blue runs. This is an absolutely epic zone. So here we are again, taking the cat track. Looker's Left on the map, coming off the summit. As you can see to our left, that's Mount Baldy, where we just hiked up and rode down. But instead, this time, we are going to take a right and go down the backside to Mineral Basin. Some good powder, not the steepest, but it's still pretty deep. If you look to my left, that's the exit of the Mineral Basin tunnel. You know, I did not take it this time because I wanted to hit the powder above it, but riding a carpet through the side of a mountain does sound pretty unique. So if you have the opportunity to do it, I definitely would. And right here, I'm dropping into a black diamond. You can see it on the Mineral Basin map. And now we're going to traverse over here to the Mineral Basin lift. Going to traverse around these tracked out cliff sections that were below me in hopes of finding some fresh powder under these bigger cliffs that are right over here. But, you know, unfortunately the plan did not really work out. We only got a little bit of fresh snow down here, but hey, we're not complaining. Looking at the base of the mineral basin lift, you can see how long these lines are wrapping all the way back up. You can definitely start feeling pretty stranded down here because there's only 2 ways out, and Lord knows the lines can be pretty long. I actually went over and took the Baldy lift instead of the mineral basin lift because the line was shorter. And here I am hiking again just to find a little bit of fresh snow. Folks out in Utah are some certified powder hounds, so you got to work for it if you want to get the fresh snow. Otherwise, it's gone pretty fast. And honestly, that whole boot pack was pretty exhausting. I barely went anywhere, and it was a lot of work, and I barely got any snow out of it. But big dogs got to eat. The big dogs got to eat. I ain't complaining. Let's get it. We'll take a turn, a little run out. It is what it is. But hey, we're there. We traveled. We're going to do our best to get what we can get. And guess what time it is? Time for a lodge beer. Let's look back down at all the powder that just got tracked out. You can see we're looking down here at Mineral Basin. There's still a pretty solid line wrapped around those lifts, so I don't want to go back down there and get stuck in that weight again. So here I am back over on Mount Baldy. As you can see, the right going down into Mineral Basin is still closed for avalanche danger, but I would say when this zone is open, that is easily the best entrance into Mineral Basin coming off these cliffs and chutes.
And this review is brought to you by our sponsor, Blower Board Shop. They're snowboarders selling snowboards, and they've been doing it longer than most ski resorts in Utah have even allowed boarders on their slopes. They've been doing it longer than I've been alive, I'll tell you that much. You support us by buying through our links to Blower Board Shop in the descriptions. This is a project by the people, for the people, and we couldn't do it without you people, so we appreciate the support. Thanks for watching.
And here I am hitting this high Baldy traverse again. Believe it or not, but this zone was absolutely empty. After just seeing the crowds that were in Mineral Basin, I still can't believe how good I got it back here on Mount Baldy for the second run. Sun was popping out. You can see the clouds back there. Mineral Basin's a little socked in at the moment. See across the way, that's the Cirque Traverse. And, we can't traverse quite as far as the skiers because we're on a board, but we're going to do our best to get a good ways around the Mount Baldy face so we can find some pretty steep powder. Bam! Look at that nice powder turn. Oh yeah, a little tracked out, but I gotta tell you, compared to Mineral Basin, this is nothing. And these are manageable powder runs. I mean, obviously, be aware of cliffs. Don't get too far out of your comfort zone. But if you're somebody that can handle a steep blue or a moderate black, don't let these double black diamond trail ratings scare you. That is fun, steep, deep powder terrain. Mount Baldy is about the perfect pitch for a deep powder day. Be careful, but don't let the trail markings scare you away from having the best run of your life. And I didn't get many groomers on this trip. I came to Snowbird for the powder and luckily got the powder. So for me, the groomers were basically just a means of getting from point A to point B. And I'm just going to take this run all the way back to the base, and we'll go ahead and fast forward and give you a layout for how it looks to get down on the groomers to the base from Peruvian Gulch. And obviously, this is a long run. We've covered almost the whole entire 3.5 mile descent through Peruvian Gulch. So if you're a beginner or an intermediate and your legs are tired, it's the end of the day, I would definitely consider taking one of the lower lifts, because when you go up to the top of the summit, the only way to get down is a pretty long descent. So I'm going to go and take this all the way to the Chickadee lift at the base, and then I'm going to take the Chickadee lift back to the road, and then I'm going to go and eat some lunch, and we'll resume after lunchtime. As you can see, the clouds rolled in during lunchtime. It is definitely a lot more socked in for this second half of the day. The camera always does a good amount better job at cutting through the fog than you can see with your tinted lenses. So for me, about this point, that skier completely gone from my frame of view. I'm only seeing maybe 30, 40 yards in front of me, even though the camera keeps it visible 50 to 60, 70, 100 yards in front of me. So I was going to be a little more cautious than before because the visibility is lower and I am new in these zones. Looking at the map again to give you a lay of the land, we just came off the summit, but this time we went lookers right on the map, and I'm about to drop into Regulator Johnson, which is the black diamond that goes right under the Little Cloud lift. I lapped that a couple times. The footage wasn't that good of quality, so we'll just show you this first run, which was my best run. Again, visibility's low. The powder is a little chunky. There was some soft spots in some places, but definitely was not as smooth as the first half of the day. So we're just gonna kind of fast forward this and let you all see the layout of the terrain. Looking at this map again, I just had an awesome afternoon taking a few runs off of Little Cloud. So I'm getting ready to head out back down to the base area where I parked. So to get there, I'm going to go from the base of Little Cloud, squiggle my way around the Mid-Gad restaurant. I'm going to ride down Upper Big Emma as it turns into Middle Emma. And then I'm going to take that as it turns into Miners Road and loops back around and takes me to the main Tram base area. We'll just go ahead and fast forward. Feel free to skip that part if you want, but if you're interested to see the layout of the land and how all that works, please watch. And this is a friendly PSA for all my dog owners out there. Dogs are not allowed in the canyons at all. Little Cottonwood Canyon is a protected natural watershed for the city of Salt Lake. So they take protecting the water very seriously. They don't want any pollution, any poop, any pee, anything that can contaminate the water. So be aware of that. I wasn't when I packed for this trip, so I brought my dog along for the ride. And unfortunately, he had to stay home all day instead of coming up to the mountain with me, which is one of his favorite activities. And there's my good old boy. Always let me know when it's time to throw the ball for him again. And a little deeper into the sunset now, down on the baseball field, you can see the beautiful Salt Lake City skyline in the background as he fetches. And here we are rolling up to this beautiful women's art event. Look at the dog's tail going 1,000 RPMs. That thing was redlining. And as the city sleeps, we party away because old friends haven't seen each other in a long time. So we gotta let the good times pour. And here I am all packed up, ready to go. Look at the boys, got a plush spot in the back with the little mattress pad and everything, ready for a long trip. And you know a long trip isn't complete without letting the dog swim a little bit. So don't be fooled by the blue skies and sunshine. It was probably about low 30s, mid 30s in this video. You know, that's why we love labs. And here's a pillow setup that I got for him on the way back. He finally fell asleep in the car.
And for anybody that wasn't fully aware, I am a product reviewer with The Good Ride. So I will go through all of the gear that I used to make this video, and I will have links in the description below to almost all the products that I'm about to talk about. So if you're interested in any of this gear, you support us by shopping through these links. Thank you. For the board that I was on, I was riding the LibTech T-Raz. That's the Chris Rasman Pro model in a 161 wide. That board is a awesome tapered directional board. Doesn't have the most setback. So you can see on some of those pow turns, they weren't the most open, pinned pow turns in the world. But this board is really fun. It's designed for the more freestyle side of all mountain. So it's a little more centered, and it does a really good job of getting big airs and doing spins and powder, which I obviously didn't really do in this video. And I was on my Union Force bindings. Those are my go-to bindings for all the reviews I do. They are my personal favorite binding in the game. Being a heavier guy, I'm 6'3.5", 250 pounds. I need all the plush insulation I can get on the bottom of my feet, and the Union Force are as good as it comes. I ride these things almost 100 days a year, and they hold up. They are comfortable as all heck. Check out my review if you want to learn more about the Rasman or the Union Force bindings. And my boots, I use the Burton Ion boots. Those are in a size 12. I absolutely love those things. Those are stiff and durable. They break in really well. I personally prefer the quick lace system over the BOA or the traditional lace. The top and bottom zones are adjustable. They don't loosen up like BOAs. BOAs can come unclipped at the end of a long run. These don't. They stay in place. Super easy on and off. Love these boots. Using a Smith Maze helmet. Awesome helmet. Lightweight helmet. You can find the review for that in the description below. For the pants I wore, those are Volcom Rain 3-layer Gore-Tex bibs. I love those puppies. Those things are bulletproof. I've had those things for going on almost 3 seasons now, and they still hold up. I need to re-waterproof them, but I don't have any major issues after riding well over 100 days over the last couple years. And for the jacket, I wore the 32 TM jacket. That's the Chris Grenier Desert Camo model. And for the board bag, that is the Burton High Roller. That bag is a freaking powerhouse. Wheels are great. You can pull it through the airport, pull it on grass, pull it through gravel. That thing fits literally, I'm not even going to lie to you, that thing fits like 15 to 20 snowboards if you're just stacking boards. If you're going boards and bindings and boots, you could fit like 3 boards, 2 pairs of bindings, a pair of boots. You can fit 2 outerwear kits, your base layers, your gloves, your goggles, your helmet. You can fit everything you need for a big, long trip in this one bag, and I love this thing. For the cameras I use, that 360 camera, the invisible floating selfie stick, that is an Insta360. We have an affiliate link down below. You support us by shopping through that link. And I lost all my GoPro footage from that trip, so you might see me wearing the GoPro in a few of those shots, but that footage is gone with the wind. Thanks for tagging along. Hope this video stokes you out and gets you inspired to go snowboard.